Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to everyone else. So my name is Jose. For those who are new to my channels, I do what I like to coin micro-astrology, where I work with over 200 asteroids, and it actually spans onto other types of disciplines: mundane, medical, synastry, locational, vocational, evolutional, whatever. Medical, that's true. But the point is, I'm having fun with the information, and I like to go into details. So today, what I'd like to go through is something that was mentioned in a video recording with an interview with Matthias Stefano. For those who know what that is, the captions like saying Matthias Stefano, Matthias de Stefano. So, and he's talking about the asteroid Apophis, and I got curious when I actually did my research last year on this one. Love this asteroid because it's the asteroid that's like usually it's a snake. He was the god of destruction. If you've seen the TV show, the movie, sorry, what is that one? The Gods of Egypt. He's the one that goes like this, their thing, right? So he's dark, he's this sort of cloud thing. But we usually have this Hollywood perception of what these usually mean. So Apophis is, it's like anything in life, everything is neutral. Whatever meaning we give it is what we perceive it to be. Okay, so but Apophis here is about, do you accept what it is? Do you accept what's going on, or do you not accept what's going on? So to put it simply, I mean, to go through the actual details, I'll show you what I mean by this one. I'm going to share the chart. This is dated for April 29, 2027, and it's about 2 years time, less than. But what I'd like to show is the actual chart itself. So this is what I got. So April 29, 2027, time Greenwich. There's going to be no houses for this one, for those who know what I'm talking about. But this still applies. So the Apophis is, you see here, it's sextile to Sun, Mercury. So a lot of it's something to do with being able to communicate freely and openly as the government, especially with how we communicate with systems. In this case, it's about how we express like boundaries. Um, and when we work through that, and Apophis here is in Cancer, it's like our inner emotions, being able to express that clearly, and without any sort of like, do we connect with that? Are we part of? Do we see that it's like? Do we accept that it's not? Doesn't have to be anything but just that, because it's just Apophis represents what do you call this? What did I re-download it? So the information I usually get is pre-downloaded. So he's about urge to take the long road towards raw, genuine, and pure connections, regardless of acceptance or inacceptance, where we integrate our more carnal, raw, and dark side as a lifelong process whilst dealing with the twists and turns of life and relationships, right? So he's basically about um, all that stuff that I just said there. But so it's inner work. It's the light and dark, night and day, heaven and hell, that evil and good and evil sort of thing. Okay, honoring and honoring and really understanding that sometimes when we say something doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to harm someone, or that we're going to get into this mode of like, well, F you kind of thing. But it's more like, what is it that we are resisting within ourselves? So Pappas relates with that specifically here with emotions. He can be chaotic or he can be order. He can be It's biding our time. Sometimes, it's all about doing things behind closed doors, things that sort of just feels like it takes time. Maybe we feel kind of stuck. Maybe there's resistance towards things. Again, it's okay to have resistance, but what are you going to do about it, right? So sometimes we project as well, right? He was when in the mythology he was projected as the bad guy, right? Just like many archetypal representations in mythology, hero movies, heroines, legends, stories, whatever. It still happens today because that's being part of existence. We're separation. We live in a fractal universe, right? We have to, in order for us to expand, we have to grow, we have to break apart, and then that's adding to that, right? How else can you expand if it just stays the same, right? It's like a broken cup, right? So, um, sometimes we might feel like there's opponents, there's some things like opposing things, separation, right? We need to honor ourselves. Therefore, when we honor ourselves, we honor as well others, seeing them that's just how they are. That's their life path. That's the path that they're in. So things that might be also drawn out in this case, it can be drawn out. I see here that it is square Venus, Neptune. So there might be a tendency to escape towards things that are more pleasurable instead of honoring what is emotions. But because Neptune and Venus actually turns Saturn, will be solidifying that whole process. It'll be like pleasure, but a new type of pleasure. It's like we'll find pleasure in this whole new beginning of like, oh, it's actually nice to be honest with ourselves. It's nice to actually be whole with others. It's nice to actually be you connected, right? So there's power struggles as well. So Apophis is here going to be arriving on April 29th, 2027. It's actually apparently really close to Earth. This is the closest it's going to get. But to me, that represents some sort of like, feels like it's going to be, just, it says here lights out. So there might be dark lights out or not dark, it might get dark for a bit. It's almost like you can say an eclipse or like a comet, like a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse. There might most likely like a lunar solar eclipse. So it feels like it's going to be dark in certain places. So stay with that, right? Bide your time, wait for it, be patient. So there might be exaggeration drawn out here as well. Might be exaggerations. Um, Long-winded information might be if you see like the news, as I see here that um, Apophis will be sextile Mercury, which is usually about broadcasting news, information, all that kind of stuff. But that's a sextile, so that to me that means that it's going to be this process of working with the information we get. If we work with the information we get and we don't give into the whole like, oh, we're just too informed or just too much, it's long-winded, it doesn't make sense. Then go with what works for you. Things might be amplified as well. Inflation, I don't know, people might feel like there's inflation at this time because this is something to do with this is Apophis is going to be in Cancer. It's going to feel like they might feel like there's things that are uncontrollable. Like it's kind of like, I'm seeing here enamorousness, enraptured, and enticement. That ties in with the Venus placement in square. There might be sort of feeling like I can't control things and there's restrictions, being overpowered, being overwhelmed. Be like, no, no, no. Those are all in the head. Those are all meanings that we give to the situations. There might be an effect on thunderstorms, cumulonimbus clouds, rain clouds, raining, atmosphere changes, in the troposphere. But there also might be some sort of a birth of things, going back to our primordial self, going back to the beginning, rebirth of things, birth of life, birth of things. Okay, it is in Cancer, so it's usually tied to that as well. It's tied, of course, to anything serpent-like, snakes. That includes dragons, right? Dragon figures, your demon self, like meaning like your dark side. And it's funny because we see here that sorry, Sun Mercury will be square Pluto in this case. So the moon will be here. So this will be like a feeling that people will be feeling some sort of like, it's be like dark. And by this time, the North Node, the collective North Node will be in Aquarius. So it's awakening again. Anything like that, or any work, quality put into something it takes time. This is what Apophis represents, and Apophis is going to remind us of this. Okay. Anything to do also with birthing, I said before, watch the second part of the video. There's going to be something to do with, I don't know if I got cut off with the whole birthing thing, going back to prehistoric times, thunderstorms, those kind of things, something to do with the weather. Okay. It might feel like it's overpowering and all that kind of stuff. Any sort of dragon or serpent figures or representations of that kind of stuff, anything long objects, right? Umbilical cords, ties, walnuts. Um, watch out for any sort of rejections or anything like that. Sources of fire, okay? Sort of like any sort of like you could say spitting or sort of salivating, if it is affecting you at all, especially for people who are cancer or anything water signs, this might come in naturally. Left side of the body, left foot, maybe extracellular fluids like slime, viscous fluids, any sort of viscosity, enzymes, again, liquids, waters. Aquatic animals is also part of this one. Um, maybe xenophobia might be part of this one as well. You got to work with that fear of the unknown. You got to explore that. Okay, you gotta face it. The moon will also be conjunct Pluto here, so it's you gotta face it. Otherwise, it's gonna just eat you up inside. Maybe there's maybe ostracism, usurping, banishments, maybe imprisons, confinements, and all kind of stuff. Rites and rituals, statues of any kind, effigies, right? Invocation, pleas, appeals, okay? Worships, so temples might be included here. Sorcery, bewitching, imbued objects, invocations, enchantment, charms, spells, voodoo rituals, beliefs, superstitions, okay, those kind of stuff. Placebo effect, right? Hypnosis might be part of this. Companions, protection, that ties in with the cancer placement. Any sort of like fighting again, you shall we repeat the cycle, right? Or repellents, anything we're, disowning, just could be it's in the dark side of things. It's stuff that we don't need is dismemberment and amputations. Okay, watch out for those things. I mean, we're in this together and no longer time to separate. Okay, stop. Let's not point fingers anymore. Okay. Um, Specific times of the day, like dawn, after dawn, and before dusk. Okay. 10 o'clock in the evening, any numbers like tens or ones. Things in 16s or 720s or threes, things in sevens, 39s, 12s, threes. First to come, last to go. So again, subterranean activity as well as part of this one. Quakes, tremors, seismic activity, shaking, subduction zones, lithosphere, western regions, and cultures. Okay. I don't know if I went in there. Okay, I guess I wasn't going forward with that one. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, and people might be moving to the west. I don't know if they're moving westward. This has something to do with traveling west. So tourism, migration, sailing, immigration, exploring journeys, seafaring, voyagers, especially with water. This is tied to the cancer placement. Disposing disposable objects, instructions being instructed, ongoing learning, distance learning, okay, portraying and portrayals, telling and telling lies, so narration as well as part of this one as well, reciting and recitals, chanting, shadow work. This one's very important. Trauma work, healing of all kinds. This we don't have to wait until the 29th to actually get through all this stuff. We can just actually ourselves go through it here and now. Okay. So with you get the point here, right? So it's the point is Apophis is telling us to that there's always a connection. Apophis reminds us of things that we can go a long way, that we can get to where we need to go, or not necessarily specifically goals, but probably short-term goals, long-term goals, whatever it is. But we have to put time into it and effort. I know this is the what you call the age of Aquarius. It's the age of information, but I feel like there's just too much information. I'll also link down below the video, the interview that was done with Matthias De Stefano. Um, however this may turn out. But I think that's about it. You'll see that when it comes to these things that we're going through as a species, that it's we're one. we're one. Okay. For me personally, I never understood how we humans can be so like separated. But at the same time, that's a path that we as a collective go through. It helps us to learn more about our mistakes. Because when it's extreme, when it's dark, when you go down the lowest, when you get to the lowest point, the only way is up, right? So we learn from that. That's the purpose of living, is to live it, experiences. Um, Something that came to me a few months ago was that when guides were telling me everything has been said and done, everything has already been said and done. The only thing left to do is experience it. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope that provides something. This is more of a message that I'm getting from Apophis, and this whole process that's going to come in 2027. Again, it doesn't have to be at that time. It can be starting now. I know that many of us are probably still in like some sort of comfort zone sort of thing. It's good to have comfort. It's good to have all that basic needs. It's good to have all that stuff that we need to do. It resonates with us. But you have to question, it's like, where's the balance? If it's too much, we become complacent. Then we get into something shocking. Well, because it's a shock because we became complacent. There's a difference between complacency and comfort, right? So that's my little take on it. Take it or leave it as it is. Okay. I'll see you guys later. If you have any questions, let me know. Comments down below. I will put the link below to the interview that was done by Heart Coherence, something like that, the channel. And the interview he had with Matias De Stefano. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.